Hi, welcome to Audiobook Academy. This is a self-paced audiobook. There's no need to keep an eye on things. Just pay attention. Thank you for taking the time to listen. This is a book summary of The Game. Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists by Neil Strauss. Because to win, you had to quit. The Game is a controversial guide on how to approach women subtly. When it comes to romance, we've all seen the transformation of the school geek from butt of all jokes to prom king or queen. Author Neil Strauss, however, goes one step further by revealing the burgeoning pickup artist community and subculture. Nerd then seeks out mentor, takes off their specs. Then, for good measure, include a fashion montage. The transformation is finished. Nevertheless, is it possible to undergo this transformation from the other side of the cinema screen? This is author, journalist and nerd Neil Strauss. Strauss was convinced he lacked the skills necessary to seduce a woman. As a result of this assignment, our author went from writing a how-to guide on how to seduce women to becoming a member of the seduction community. In addition, we'll learn about some of the tactics and strategies employed by this group. What Strauss learned about the pickup artist community will be examined in this section. Look no further than the fables of Casanova and the Marquis de Sade to see how long seduction has been revered as a form of art. However, times change, and so do the strategies employed. Or are you sure about that? The book How to Pick Up Girls by Eric Weber was first published in 1970, but it wasn't until the advent of online communities that the internet became a go-to source for seduction advice. Even the most socially awkward can find a place to learn the ropes of seduction on the internet, thanks to a plethora of websites, chat rooms, and blogs. You have gurus at the top of the pyramid, who are also known as leaders. PUA, pickup artist. Gurus impart all of their knowledge to their followers. They all have their own unique style of teaching and are known for using psychology, magic, or even hypnosis to help their students achieve their goals. Strauss wanted to talk to as many gurus as possible, so he conducted interviews with a large number of them online before bringing their advice into the real world and hosting workshops for aspiring pickup artists. A Canadian named Mystery was the first guru he met. As a 21-year-old virgin who had never interacted with a woman, Mystery began analyzing women and social interaction and developed the Mystery Method. He offered to teach Strauss the method. The premise of the method is that the pickup is so subtle that the woman doesn't realize she's being seduced. However, she wants to be. The Mystery Method is all about focusing on what makes you interesting to learn more about. You want to be the person everyone wants to talk to, the one with the most interesting stories to tell. Then you'll want to act like a fighter pilot and use chaff to confuse the target. Decoys like chaff are used by military aircraft in order to confuse their adversaries. These negs are referred to as little insults or backhanded compliments by Mystery. Instead of pulling a girl's ponytail or making jokes about how treating her mean will help you get a girl's attention, it's better to treat her like a jerk to keep her interested. Tricks and gimmicks are what you're using to try and win her over. A variety of techniques are employed by pickup artists, including magic, psychological tests, and general knowledge. Fishermen don't want to reel her in right away, they prefer a little fun and flirtation in order to make it clear they have other female admirers. She isn't the only one out there, to use a fishing metaphor once again, and if you use the Mystery Method, you won't have to wait long for her to give you her phone number. At least, that's the theory. Never ask her for her phone number, of course. She should initiate the conversation. Has speed seduction ever crossed your mind? In 1988, a guru named Ross Jeffries unleashed speed seduction on the world. Using this technique, Jeffries became known as the godfather of pickup artists and gained a lot of admiration and respect. Speed seduction is based on NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming. Humans are capable of being influenced by body language, and when used correctly, this can be used to our advantage. In order to get a clear picture of someone's innermost thoughts and feelings, we need to understand their subconscious. Pickup artists rely on physical cues to pique a person's interest, so the goal is to get them interested in you. Blushing is one such occurrence. As a result of the physical cue of eye contact, we often blush because we associate it with flirting, which results in our face turning red. Is it more important to have a great look than a good idea? Strauss was a hit in the community and was invited to be Mystery's wing, or wingman, at a workshop after just 1 month. As a result, Neil Strauss was dubbed Style. Style had to hone his skills and develop his persona in order to become Style. For his part, Style practiced peacocking while also working on his body language and posture. Peacocking refers to the practice of attracting potential partners by making a fashion or accessory statement. Sarging with a variety of different pickup artists was Style's way of proving that practice makes perfect. It is possible to improve your savagery by experimenting with various techniques and strategies. Confidence is the most important Sarging technique, but there are many others. Detailed instructions. When it comes to picking things up, it's a sequential process. Approach is the first step. It's important to move with purpose and assess any obstacles that might stand in the way of you and your ultimate objective. Close proximity to the obstacle is an excellent way to show a lack of interest in the situation. Close enough, but not so obvious as to draw attention away from the woman in your sights. Approaching the woman of interest's area of interest is step number 2. The second step is to get in position. In this step, you remove or overcome the barrier between you and the woman you want to seduce. An opening line is helpful, and if the woman takes the bait, you can concoct a scheme to demonstrate something or find a justification for moving in closer. You're in a good spot now, so it's time to move on. Joining in the fun is the final step. You're not just hovering because you want to be able to join the woman or group of women. According to style, it's perfectly acceptable to park on a woman's lap if you have to steal her seat. Is it possible that it will lead to a mutual understanding? That brings us to step 4, which is establishing trust and a connection with our audience. Getting to know someone can be difficult, but if you're self-assured enough, you'll be able to test the waters a bit without going too far. That said, it is important that you avoid sounding too confident. The introduction of a time limit is the 5th step. Tell the woman you're sarging to create a sense of urgency by letting her know you only have a limited amount of time. In addition, this move reveals that you won't be around for the duration of the night. Is this it? If you give a woman a time limit but indicate that you'd like to see her again, she'll more than likely hand over her phone number. This is the number close. Theoretically, at least. Increasing the stakes. After he had mastered the fundamentals of pickup and seduction, Strauss sought out advice from other well-known pickup artist gurus. High confidence and dazzling boldness were the hallmarks of Juggler's approach. He instructed his disciples in the art of making cold calls to strangers and starting conversations. In addition, he advised aspiring pickup artists to seriously downplay their abilities by claiming to have low-paying jobs and to drive old cars. David D'Angelo is a name you've probably come across. Eben Pagan, as he's also known, is a dating author and online dating influencer. His go-to approach is cocky funny, which combines humor with a sense of conceit. He discovered that women were more attracted to him when he teasingly complimented them rather than just praising them all the time. Some gurus claim to be so successful that women pay to have sex with them, while others use hypnotism. Winding her up, some argue, is the best way to get her to open up about what she thinks. As for the brutal honesty approach, there are those who employ it to the fullest. It is possible to date multiple women because of this emphasis on honesty. To portray yourself as desirable and moral at the same time implies that women will not be shocked or hurt by your other sexual partners. However, is there a delivery service after pickup? So, then, are women nothing more than objects of desire to be conquered? How many more belt loops are there? Women are likely to roll their eyes as they read this. But don't be alarmed, there's a lesson in here for everyone. Our author had become style, not just a writer on a project. Strauss, on the other hand, despite his newfound self-confidence and string of victories, remained unsatisfied. His new persona added to his life in many ways, but he also discovered that he was missing something. When it comes to seducing someone, it's a short-lived endeavor at best. What follows? Styles' interactions lacked substance, and he was unable to connect with female partners. Furthermore, a lot of the younger pickup artists began to copy others rather than learn from their mistakes and become better versions of themselves. Next-generation people were becoming less authentic. The problem with games is that everyone wants to come out on top, no matter what the stakes are. In this context, who is the victor? Many men ruined their relationships, quit their jobs, and stopped studying because they spent too much time sarging. The pickup community has a lot to offer, but how do you take advantage of that and create something more long-term? Connectivity is the key. When Style first met Lisa, his future wife, he reverted to more simple methods of courtship. Using Neil Strauss as a guide, he was able to produce some stunning results. Even if he claims that the seduction community helped him gain self-confidence, the only thing that can keep a relationship going is being yourself. In the end, there are those who argue that the game is more than just a way to meet women, it's a way to boost one's self-esteem and seek out personal growth opportunities. Men who choose to participate in the game tend to be more physically fit and healthy as a result of their desire to be highly regarded. Steve Carell's character Cal Weaver, in the Hollywood romantic comedy Crazy Stupid Love, is transformed after meeting guru extraordinaire Jacob Palmer, played by Ryan Gosling. The roles are reversed here, As is common in romantic comedies, with Jacob learning that life is about more than just one-night stands from California. Cal Weaver, on the other hand, emerges from his encounter with Jacob a more positive version of himself because he gains self-assurance and perspective. It is a sentiment echoed by many professional pickup artists. Being a part of this subculture is more than just adding notches to your bedpost, it's about a newfound pride in appearance and an increased sense of self-confidence. Aside from changing your bad habits and adopting new ones, it's also about changing your mindset. The book, on the other hand, does an excellent job of describing men and their egos, as well as the inevitable struggle for dominance that results from that relationship. When Strauss realizes that women are no longer important, he says, it's ego and winning. For the most part, Strauss was surrounded by men instead of women. Rather than assuming there's a single way to treat women, the overarching message is to treat each woman as an individual. Many people have already read the game and are already ahead of you in terms of tactics and strategies. In addition, the best games are played with two players who are evenly matched and who are familiar with the game's rules. Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Please don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you in next audiobook.